What's up, everybody? Mastic here, and today I got a bit of a different video. Today we're going to be talking about the downfall of current games. It seems like for the past 8 to 10 years, AAA games and AAA studios just keep pumping out absolute dog shit that is just full of bugs and issues and all of that. So we're just going to go into some current games that came out, some very popular games, and then we're going to talk about some games that kind of blew up out of the water out of nowhere that people seem to just love. And then I'm going to talk about how I think these games took off where these games failed. So right here we got Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Right here it says the turbulent launch is related to the variety of bugs and issues with the game, which forced developers Rocksteady Studios to pull the game offline twice within 24 hours of launch. So that just goes to show me that this game was so packed full of bugs and issues, they had to take down the game twice. That is ridiculous. If you have entire teams of people working on things, it should not be so packed full of bugs and issues that you have to legitimately take down the game twice in 24 hours. So they didn't even fix all the issues or the issues that they wanted to fix the first time that they took it down. It was still so bad that they had to take it down again within the first day that it was up. Okay, and then it says players who bought the game are clearly not happy, and Windows Central reports that player search requests for Suicide Squad Refund are up by 791%. So that means that this game is so shit, it's so packed full of bugs and issues, that not only did the fucking developers have to take it off of the store twice, but people want to refund the game so bad, refund search results shot up by almost 800%. That's not okay. At all. And we're sitting here willingly handing all of our money to these studios that just constantly pump out horse shit, in the hopes that maybe this next game will be better. Maybe this next game will be a lot like the old games, right? But no, it just continues to get worse. Just continues to get worse. Okay, so now we're going to go into some Call of Duty. So right here we have the Call of Duty daily players. And I'm willing to bet you that this is probably for Modern Warfare 3. So this is the newer game that came out, 2023 to 2024. Okay, it started off pretty strong with an average of 95,000 players, with an all-time peak of almost 200,000. Okay, and then it went up a little bit on the average player the next month, which makes sense because this is Christmas, so a lot of kids and stuff probably got the game during Christmas, or family members gifted the game to people and all that stuff. So that makes sense why the average players would go down. However, the peak players went down by almost 30,000. Then you go just one more month, average players shoot down by almost 20,000. The peak players shoot down by almost 20,000. Okay? And then here in the last 30 days, it doesn't really get much better. Okay? The average players went down again. Okay? The peak players might have went up by about 10,000. But the average players went down 7,000. So why are people not playing these games? Because Call of Duty is one of the most successful game franchises ever. They top the charts every single year, except for the year that Hogwarts Legacy came out, and then it topped fucking Call of Duty that one year. And it was such a shock that a bunch of, gaming articles and stuff were published about how Hogwarts Legacy overthrew Call of Duty. Okay, so this is one of the most sold games in the entire world. Okay, they make billions of dollars of revenue. I'm pretty sure this last Call of Duty got 425 to 427 million copies sold, and the games are $60. So they're making plenty of money. Plenty of money. There's no excuse why these games just suffer and do not succeed. They have all of the resources that they could possibly need and or want. They have so much money that they can throw around and play with that they could literally just do whatever they wanted. But they continue to make their games more and more shit. Okay, so now we're going to go into some games that have came out recently that have shocked a lot of people with how they blew up. So the first is very obviously Palworld. Okay, Palworld blew up seemingly overnight. Okay, for about the first month that it had 1 million players daily. For the first month that it was out. Okay, and even now, after it's been a month, it still has about 500,000 concurrent players daily. Okay, and its all-time peak has been 2.1 million players. Okay, you compare that to the recent Call of Duty game, where its highest all-time peak was 190,000. It is not even a fucking 20th. It's barely a 10th. Sorry, I had to redo my math. It is just barely below a 10th of what Palworld's all-time concurrent player base is. And even if you take it to its, today's concurrent player base with 500,000, it's still outdoing Call of Duty's absolute peak player for Modern Warfare 3 by almost 300,000. By a little over 300,000. Okay? Here's another game. Helldivers 2 that has recently come out. Okay? So they have about 262,000 players right now. They've had a 372,000 24-hour peak, and they have had almost 500,000 all-time peak, which was about 5 days ago. This game blew up so much that the fucking devs had to go in and expand their servers because their servers were so full because they had so many players and they were not expecting that many players. Okay, now what makes these two games different than all of these AAA titles like Call of Duty, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, and even things like the concurrent Pokemon games like Palworld got, accused of stealing off of? I think it just comes down to the fact that these developers, these companies, care about these games. They put their heart and soul into making these games. That's the difference. These games right here, Call of Duty, Kill the Justice League, they're made to make money. They're not made with love and heart and soul to appease gamers. Whether or not it'll be a flop or not, we made this and we're proud of this. That is the difference between these two sets of games right here. These developers care about their players and they want to make an actual good, interesting game, and they don't really care if it blows up or not. Meanwhile, these studios and these developers only care about making money. And that goes into even more with today's, because game sales are slumping. Okay, during the pandemic, game sales shot up because obviously everybody was stuck in the house, they had nothing to do, so buy games and game. But ever since the pandemic has, we're allowed out of our houses and working, and life is pretty much back to how it was. The US gaming revenue fell 2.3% over a year. And then gaming usage went down. So people are playing, not only not buying any more games, they're also playing less games. They're playing for less amount of time. Okay? Here's another reason why games just constantly fail, which continues to go into why developers and games like these fail, why games like these succeed, is the amount of fucking microtransactions. Oh my god, it seems like you can't boot up a free-to-play game or even a fucking game that you pay for without having to spend more fucking money just to do shit in the game. Okay? Right here it says that it is estimated that only 5 to 20% of game communities have microtransactions. Okay? right? Those vary, and I don't really mind things like boosters and stuff in free to play games that you can buy for it because those are optional, right? What I don't want is cosmetics that give you an advantage, such as like Fortnite's superhero skin, where you could just go all black and just hide in corners, right? I don't mind cosmetic items and stuff like that being microtransactions because if you want to spend money on the game to have the cool shit, then you can. But it's not going to impact your skill or the gameplay at all. However, whenever you add microtransactions like get this gun early or get this early or pay to be able to get this thing, but you can't get it in the game, right? That's the microtransactions that I hate. Microtransactions where you essentially have to spend money in the game to actually make any progress in the game. Hey, you want to beat that final boss and you already have the best weapons and equipment, it's already maxed out? Guess you're gonna have to pay $20 for that fucking OP sword. That's way beyond max level. You know? And I think that's just why gaming has just been on the decline massively over just the past 8 to 10 years. Game developers don't care about making actual good games, they only care about making money, and that is evident by the amount of microtransactions that have just seemingly surged and increased over the past couple years, and also the fact that gaming sales are dropping and people aren't even playing as much games anymore. Right? And these are the games that people look out for the most because they're AAA titles. These are the games that made gaming pretty much what it was. Right? Old Call of Duty, I'm willing to bet you gaming would not be as popular if we didn't have old Call of Duty. Okay? So it's just these teams and these companies and these developers have went from like these developers wanting to make good games and they don't really care 100% if it flops. You know, we'll just try again next time with the next game and we'll improve and all that. No, instead they just want to use their fame as their company and ride off the fame of their old games to produce some shitty cash grab. I mean, that's just my thoughts on it, but tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. As soon as I hit 50 subscribers, I'll probably do a little 50 subscriber special. So, look forward for that. And on top of that, please look forward to the podcast that I'm making. I'm pretty sure the first episode is going to be tomorrow. As long as I can work it all out and I can get my buddy up in and we can get everything all sorted, then I'd look out for that next episode. For that first episode. So, this is Mastic signing off.